blend back and forth. And all I'm doing is killing that line and killing these edges. Seriously, I just switched over to another video. Now, this is what makes me mad. It was on 11:58. Last time it was on 12:17. I need to read the owner's manual. I don't want to. But anyway, okay, so tawny. We're back to tawny. We are blending out the color. And we're using a warmer shade to blend out. A little more tawny. Let's go over here, maybe. I don't want to get too brown looking. I mean, I do want a cool tone. That's the whole point. But I'm just trying to make sure that I blend this and don't get more purple, like get darker and darker. Whereas if you use a warm tone, you won't do that. Now, this is kind of a dirty brush now, right? Use that to cut in. And it sure enough will. You can also do the side of your nose, because this is like a dark color now. There we go, there we go. And that's it. Also remember I told you that you can use your short shader brush as a eyebrow brush. And because the ash really does have a purple in it, which y'all know I've used a sort of purple on my brow before. But I am using this saddle color in the top right hand corner to reinforce my brows. And I don't need much, I will tell you that. I'm pretty reinforced today. But just to get the arch pretty. I think that's enough. That's enough. That's enough makeup for today. Okay, well, the other thing that I wanted to tell y'all, yesterday I did a, I'm using the fat part of my hand to kind of blend the edges so that you don't have this line over here. And then I also need to go get, I don't have any facial brushes in here, but I need to go blend this out a little bit. It's a little heavy. Oh, and this lip color, this is the Maybelline 24, which y'all know started me off before I started using my Chanel. But they got a new formula, supposedly, so I'm testing it out. I think this one's called Keep It Red, which to me, this is very pink. But it is red. A red shade. And, but they've got a new formula that supposedly keeps it from cracking, getting crusty. And that it did have a problem doing that, especially if you apply it extra, like your first pass of the day. But it doesn't last 24 hours. It lasts about 4 hours. And usually after lunch, I still had a shade of it on, but after eating and all day long, having coffee, all that kind of thing, I did usually reapply, you know, late in the day. And not quite 8 hours, maybe like 6 hours. This stuff does last. And, but when you reapplied, unless you scrubbed it all off and started over, there was a bit of crumbing on your lips. I think it's because it dried out and whatnot. So they have put something into the formula. It is a new formula. But I will let you guys know, does it beat my Chanel? I don't know. It's so much cheaper and it's so much more easy to get. I don't have to pay for shipping, but do it in the mail. I do not have any place around me that sells Chanel. I have to always do it through the mail. Then I would definitely say this would win. I will also tell you that I used my Kevyn Aucoin concealer today, and I really hate it. I feel like it makes me look really dry, and it's very yellowy. It doesn't blend with my makeup, and I don't think I used too much. And then I baked it, like you're supposed to bake your, by the way, if you know what that means, it just means that you put on a whole bunch of powder, even highly milled powder, and you let it sit and bake with the temperature and really get in your skin and blah, 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 and then you dust it off real good, and it's supposed to just be great. All it did was set my wrinkles, y'all. It looks terrible, terrible, terrible. So don't bake under your eyes. And really, ladies, if you are past the age of bearing seed, or eggs, not seed, eggs, if you pass menopause, if you're older and you started wrinkling enough, and I'm wrinkling enough, I would say do not do it. Do not do the baking thing. It's just too much powder in your skin. And yes, it does absorb, and obviously the whole process is supposed to be to get the powder to absorb and kind of like melt into your skin and bake, blah, blah, blah. I think it's just a new phenomenon, and people are just talking about it. I don't know. Maybe a professional makeup artist would say, no, it's been around for thousands of years, and it's excellent. It's not excellent for me. What do you think about my hair color? I think she did a great job. And I feel like I do not look like I'm thinning as bad when I've just had my hair done. I think that when, I'll tell you this, I think because your gray is not really gray at the root, it's clear. It makes you look like you're balding because you can see straight through it to your scalp. Now, obviously, ladies, we do, as we get older, we do get, what's the word, thin out. I think even ladies with really thick hair thin out. But coloring actually helps at that point because it fills the hair shafts back up, and at least for the first week it looks like it has more body. It looks it has a richer color. It's not as dried out because it usually has conditioners built in. Now as time goes on, you have put chemicals in your hair. They're getting to where chemicals, like I know one of the hair colors, Madison Reed, they have less and less things that are bad for your hair. But okay, so that's one thing. The other thing that I wanted to tell you guys is the other day I had put a whole bunch of Christmas stickers in front of your eyeballs to decide which one was going to be my next spread. And what I did not take into account was this. I thought I had another week for Christmas, right, to do a spread. But this was the last one. Right here. This was this week. It's really cute. It had kind of a tomato red and deep forest green for the greens, and then so that was different, and also mixed in a navy. And then the one before that was very, very bright. This was from Elle Fowler's the Glam Planner. This was very bright. It's probably the most traditional of all colors. Really loved it. But then the next thing was that you know, what was I going to do for actual Christmas week? And I have decided that I am going to use the Little Paper Prints set. It's got navy, it's got kind of a more traditional red and green, and it's got all kinds of good stuff, and that is what we'll be doing in the plan for me. And then after that, we will be using Glam Planner's New Year's Eve spread, which is kind of a blush pink, gold, and black, and that's this one. And that will be for the next week. Even though I could use Christmassy stuff, it's in the same week as New Year's, so I'm going to use this. I think it's one of my favorite all-time ones. But anyway, that is all I have for you. So I'm going to leave.